Well, welcome. We're going to go on this little trip over here to my favorite flying spot. Of course, you'll recognize this as the old Oakland estuary. And what makes this shot a little different than other shots here is I got to capture this big container ship coming in to dock. So you can see that the captain of the ship's not even really driving it. He's basically letting these old tugboats tug it along. I guess that's why they call them tugboats, is they tug and pull that boat the way they want it to go. It's just quite an amazing feat what those little boats do with that big ship. And it looks like there's a 3 o'clock ferry coming in to drop the people off from San Francisco over there. They like to go over there and do touristy things on the weekends, but that's pretty amazing right there. All those, that ship is not even half full, I imagine. The containers it's got on it has probably came from other parts of the world, and they'll probably offload those containers and ship them around California. But each container goes on the back of a semi-truck. I like this shot here where you can see the massive size of that ship compared to the ferry, compared to that little sailboat. And that sailboat has no problem just going in between the both of them. So, of course, that sailboat is going off its motors because there are no sails in the air, but even the top of that sailboat's mast barely makes it to the top of that ship. So you can see that thing is called the MSC Clara, maybe Madeira. So with the big crane that's going to offload it over there to the left, it's got the city of Oakland behind it. And I like to fly from that little parking lot right over to your right. There's a little dog park and shade tree right there at the end of the dog park. And that's a great place to see my old... Today I had the Phantom 4 Pro out, and you could really see it all around. You just have a perfect view. So this is a great place to fly. That's why most of my videos are out here, because I do live next to an airport, and basically you got to go 4 miles away from an airport to fly a drone. So I stay away from the airport and follow the rules, as any good drone pilot should do. So I knew this thing was gonna do a U-turn up here, so I needed to head home and get a fresh battery, so I did not miss any part of this U-turn. I got my battery in, and now I could really not sweat it. I can capture the moment these tugboats are pulling this boat all the way around. They're basically just tugging that boat. That one in the front is using all its might. You can see the current underneath the tugboat, and it's just really just moving along there. I just still am in awe of the way those things pull. But I will tell you this, when they get done turning that around, they just push it with a gentle ease. And that, mind you, that water is not very deep. That is pretty shallow. You can see that they're stirring up the sand, but you can see that little tugboat right at the front of that ship pushing as hard as it can with the tires all the way around it, those old car tires, and protecting it from damaging itself or the ship. And boy, oh boy, you can see the size of that boat by that bird. And I think there was probably 4 tugboats. Ooh, 4 tugboats involved here, pushing and pulling. And I guess they got something. Maybe the crew's feeding them some scraps, because those little seagulls are flying around there. Or maybe they're stirring up something in the water, but the birds sure do like it. And that's what you get right there when you have commerce coming from the other side of the world. That's probably your radios and television sets, your 99-cent stores, all the material stuff we buy as Americans come on those ships from across the seas. We pretty much buy all our junk right from overseas. But as Americans, we like our material things. On weekends after we work, we go to Costco's and other stores, and we fulfill some kind of hole we're trying to fill through buying stuff. And that's what keeps the world going round. You can see that as that ship goes around, this world goes around with material things that make us feel better. For some reason, the human nature is to gather things. As Americans, we have so many things. We have storage units that we buy and spend our well-earned money to put our things in storage units. So there's some more material things for our material lives in this material world, and they'll fill that ship back up with our scrap metal and other things that will basically our recycled trash and our recycled cans and other things, recycled computers, and we'll send that ship back to China full of all of our stuff for them to remake and send it back to us. As the world goes round, I bid you adieu, and thanks for liking this video. Thanks for subscribing. And here comes your little slice of ham in every video. Watch that wire. Oh, woo. Okay, watch that tree. Whew. Ah. Well, thanks for watching.